Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up those football gods here on finally freaking Friday. Thank God we made it through another work week and the weekend is upon us. I hope you guys join us in tonight, 9 o'clock, for our live streams where we always get lively up in here. We definitely will be touching on all things that are the Dallas Cowboys as well as around the NFL. And around the NFL, we have breaking news this morning that the New England Patriots, who it's amazing to me because we always hear about this team is interested in this guy. This team is ready to go get this guy. That New England was ready to pull the trigger to bring Jimmy G back, Jimmy Garoppolo, that they were all in, that the brass is saying that's the guy. Now, Bill Belichick, who is never one to mince words. In fact, he just kind of grumbles the words and blah, blah, blah. You know, you think that he's like, let's just throw him a steak, okay? Just throw him some raw meat or something there because he always seems like he's hangry. Said that basically all options were on the table at quarterback. Well, apparently one of the options is the one that they took, which was right there on the table, is Cam. Oh, Cam. Cam Newton will be returning to New England on a $14 million one-year deal. I think this is actually a good move for New England. And the reason I say that is Cam already has a taste of the system with Bill Belichick. And contrary to popular belief, I think this is going to be one of the toughest games the Cowboys are going to have to face because we are now having a 17th game season. And our 17th game is against New England. And if you think that New England is going to be in the basement next year again, you got another thing coming because a lot of their key players decided to take the COVID route and ended up not playing. They sat out. Well, guess what? Almost all of those guys are coming back. New England is flush with cash as well as with high draft picks. We may go back and look at this year or the year 2020 as the year that New England reloaded. Nothing happens in New England by accident. Letting go of Tom Brady may be the end of that era, but the beginning of another one. You watch New England as they rebound, and I think this is actually a good move for them. The thing is, it's crazy the amount of quarterback rumors that we have heard in the NFL this year about teams that are looking. We know that the Chicago Bears are desperate and supposedly are trying to get Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson or a ham sandwich as opposed to a potted meated one. Now, for the Dallas Cowboys, and as we look at the NFC East, which is all things relative, you have to look at the Dallas Cowboys situation where the Eagles figured it was addition by subtracting Carson Wentz. Getting rid of him, taking the $33 million cap hit, they feel is a better option than keeping him. They may, at the number 6 pick, still be thinking about a quarterback. Their quarterback situation is awful, much like Carson Wentz. I mean, Carson, woo, boy. Yeah, Carson Wentz was really, really bad. We look at, of course, the New York stinking Giants. Danny Dimes, quarterback injured, has been leaving people wanting since being drafted in the first round. Kyler Murray, fantastic. Dwayne Haskins, terrible. Danny Dimes, somewhere in the middle. And then we have the Washington football team. They kind of grabbed themselves a hiney. And they end up letting their best quarterback go in Alex Smith. But best quarterback, relatively speaking, again, Alex Smith, as Ron Rivera put it, he was scared to play him. I'll be 100% real here. Every time he went out and you could see the pressure coming, it was just like, is this going to be the hit? You look at Alex Smith's legs. Alex Smith's legs remind me of Sam Bradford. Go look at some pictures of Sam Bradford. And actually, Carson Wentz is another one, too, that literally have bird legs. There's no meat on them. And you look at it, it's like, that's just too fragile. That just looks like it's going to break. And after Alex Smith having the 17 surgeries, I can understand completely how Washington ended up not wanting to stick with Alex Smith and to move on to somebody else. It's a great story. He got them to the playoffs and should be commended, but they definitely need somebody better. And then that brings us to us. With two teams thinking addition by subtraction will be the marker, and Washington still not knowing what the actual plan is. They do have Kyle Allen, and they do have, of course, whatever. Just grab a Heine at quarterback. But there's still a lot of big question marks that are there. Some speculation was Cam would end up coming to Washington, but I guess we can nix that one right there. One other side note on New England. New England says that they may not be done as far as the quarterback situation, and what we can view on that is if a better situation comes about, of course we would be interested in it, and I think that's the case with just about everybody. For the Cowboys, getting Dak Prescott back, you have to look at the Cowboys situation being head and shoulders better than anybody else in the division. There's no question who has the best quarterback in the division. I know Eagle fans will say, Hurts is better than Dak Prescott. Dak is trash. He's whack. He's stinking dunked. He's garbage time. We got the best. Okay. If it helps you, Eagle fans, sleep at night. Cool. But in reality, we have the best quarterback. Hopefully, this is the problem. You can have the best quarterback, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and it doesn't matter if you don't have the parts to go with it. We've got great receivers. But I think back to Eli Manning, the two-time Super Bowl MVP, when he had great receivers. When they signed Brandon Marshall, everybody went crazy. Oh, my God. Two-time Super Bowl MVP, Eli Manning. He's got Odell Beckham. He's got Brandon Marshall added to the mix. And I'm trying to remember the other wide receiver. Look at those receivers. You won't be able to stop him. He's going to be bombs away from Eli Manning. And I said, hello? It's great getting Brandon Marshall, who's later in his career, but the problem is not the wide receivers. Sterling Shepard was the other one. Sterling Shepard. Who going to block for him? How Eli going to have some time to get the ball downfield? They took the care of the sports cars. They had all of that. But the problem was they got to plow through the snow, and they needed those four-wheelers, that offensive line, because everything starts out with the offensive line. An average quarterback will beat you if he can get protected for 6, 7, 8 seconds. If you don't have a line, Joe Montana ain't doing shit for you. So it all begins up front. And you can look across the board on everybody's offensive line right now in the NFC East and see there's a lot of questions. The Eagles, they having a couple guys that will coming back, but they have one that might end up retiring. Danny Dimes, Jason Garrett, you got to get him some help. Washington, And the Cowboys could potentially have the best offensive line if Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith are healthy. So that's where we stand from a quarterback situation here on the NFC East. I hope that we can do something with our defense, and we'll talk about that later. And by the way, did you like the music there? Last night I ended up asking for some people that might be interested in promoting their music and stuff, and that was Ron Oliver, and that is the Coffee remix. And I really like that. So we're trying to get a little bit fancy up in here. I'm Mark Holmes, and I hope I see you guys tonight on the live stream.